In this video, we're diving into episodes 4, 5, and 6 of Monarch Legacy of Monster, so stick around till the end because there's a lot to explain, and I guarantee you're gonna enjoy it. Welcome back to Nerds Insights, your daily nerd news channel. Monarch Legacy of Monsters had two rather slow, even boring episodes, 4 and 5, that is, but episode 6 made up for it with a ton of action and is setting up something huge. You can bet the next episodes will be packed with battles, non-stop action. Just like hitting that like button here keeps the channel rolling, and when you subscribe with notifications on, you get the news delivered to you every day, right in the palm of your hand. So don't miss out, subscribe to the channel now and drop a comment. Which of episodes 4, 5, or 6 did you enjoy most? I'm curious to know. Episode 4 was heavily focused on the characters, especially Kentaro. Shortly after emerging from the frost vark, Mai ends up freezing her feet and suffering from hypothermia. This sparks a significant discussion within the group about whether what they're doing is right and if they can trust Lee Shaw. After this discussion, the group splits up. Kentaro spots a location and heads towards it, while Cate, Mai, and Lee Shaw head in another direction, searching for a nearby civilization. Meanwhile, the episode delves into Kentaro's past with Mai, showing how they met and revealing more about Kentaro's profession as an artist, with his father teaching him many things. Towards the end, Kentaro proves to be right as he locates help. However, it turns out to be a direct communication with Monarch, leading Verdugo, Tim, and Duval to take them into custody. Episode 5 picks up right where episode 4 left off, with them imprisoned in a Monarch facility. However, they decide to release the boys and let them go on their way, albeit under remote surveillance, while Lykel remains to be interrogated by Director Verdugo. Upon their release, the boys leave Alaska and head straight to San Francisco because Hiroshi Handa had two offices, one in Tokyo and another in San Francisco. However, it's located where the G-Day attacks occurred, so getting in is quite challenging. And here, we begin to see how annoying and irritating the character Cate can be. I've been meaning to say this for a while, about how annoying and stupid this character is, but I never really had a chance, and I thought it was just my pet peeve. However, in episode 5 of Monarch Legacy of Monsters, I'm absolutely certain she's not a good human being. First, we see that she disrespects her mother a lot. Her mother is worried, wanting to talk, to know about her daughter, how she's doing, and she always acts as if her mother is really getting on her nerves. She acts bored with her mother, hanging up the phone and never calling back, and as if that wasn't enough, as soon as she arrives at her mother's house, with her husband's child from another woman, instead of entering, talking to her mother, and preparing her for the shock it would be, no, she talks in front of everyone, really intending to humiliate her mother. Just imagine how it would be for you. Imagine if you really found out something like that about someone important to you, and when they told you, it was in front of everyone, so you'd feel like a fool, and everyone would be in that awkward situation, and you there feeling humiliated and wanting to cry, but having to keep your composure. That's what her mother did. She kept her composure, invited them in, and Cate still thought her mother's actions were wrong. She wanted her mother to freak out and be really embarrassed in front of everyone, and that's why I really don't like Cate's character. She's very annoying, and as if that weren't enough, it shows even more of Cate's past, and we see that Cate was engaged and still cheated on her fiancé. Even on the day they decided to live together, she slept with another woman, and that, to me, is really unacceptable. She's a very annoying and irritating character, one I don't like at all. And even continuing, she asks her mother for help to get into that place where the army is taking over, to see if she discovers anything in her father's office, and her mother, all worried about her running the risk of being mistaken for a thief and getting shot, doesn't even get a hug back from her daughter. As they're heading down the path, she starts having some memories of the days before in the G-Day, and we notice that Cate acts as if she's the only person suffering, as if she's the only one who's experienced losses, as if she's the only one traumatized. But no, all of San Francisco, actually, I'd say everyone in there is suffering, afraid that it might happen to them, afraid that while you're living your normal day, a massive cashew might appear and crush you or someone important to you. As if it's nothing, it's not just her going through this, but she acts as if she's the most important person in the world and the only one suffering. Seriously, this character is very, very annoying. As they arrive at the office, they start searching, but there's nothing apparent there. However, they manage to find a map, and Kentaro uses his artistic skills to decipher locations on the map. These locations trace where Hiroshi Randa had been. The next one leads them directly to, if I'm not mistaken, the Sahara Desert. Correct me if I'm wrong. So they return home and get ready to head to that location. Now let's jump straight to episode 6. Lee Shaw was still being interrogated by Verdugo and was about to be taken somewhere, probably a prison, but Duval intercepts his escort and takes Lee Shaw with her. They need to prevent the next catastrophe that's coming, and only Shaw knows how to help stop these things. They end up at Cate's mother's house and reunite with Cate, Mai, and Kentaro, However, while they were still detained in Monarch, May made a pact with Duval. Duval would help May return to her old life. It's revealed that May owes someone very dangerous, which is why she's constantly on the run. She can't even use her real name. It's mentioned that she has a lot of money saved, but people can track her. That's why she seeks Monarch's help to clear her name and go back home. The only deal is that she has to share information with Duval. However, Duval isn't under Monarch's command anymore. She's acting on her own alongside Lee Shaw and other groups of deserters who believe that Monarch is wrong. So they all board a plane and head straight for the Sahara. Meanwhile, Director Verdugo and Tim also head to Hiroshi Randa's office in San Francisco. They discover the same thing our protagonist group found and also head toward the Sahara. When they arrive there, they finally encounter Hiroshi Randa, but Hiroshi Randa is acting really strange and orders everyone to leave. Oh, and one thing I forgot to mention is that they've finally resumed that back and forth between past and present. We go back to 1955. There's a gala for the American Army Group, since Monarch is now an extremely necessary organization. But they need to present more evidence to the government, so they go, if I'm not mistaken, to Japan again. There's a scientist there who managed to create a machine that attracts titans, and that machine reminded me a lot of the one presented in Godzilla 2, King of the Monsters. It's called the Alpha. If I'm not mistaken, it's called Orca. This equipment, could it be related? Maybe. Their goal is to attract Godzilla or any other monster attracted by that radiation. It's interesting to note there was already a connection between Shaw and Dr. Keiko Miura. Something might have happened that night. But it didn't, because Bill Randa found something. So they went to Japan, and Shaw wasn't supposed to go to Japan. He didn't have permission. He was supposed to stay at that location, controlling Monarch, because he was the captain, but he disobeys this order out of sheer stubbornness and being spoiled. He only went there to see Dr. Miura. He didn't even go there to see the kaiju, and that's going to end up messing with Monarch's plans. Godzilla appears and tosses that Orca project away. Then they find out they couldn't kill Godzilla with that radiation. On the contrary, it only made him stronger. When they return to Monarch headquarters, they discover Shaw isn't the captain anymore. He's now a leader in the Navy. They have to report everything to this guy. In other words, Shaw's out and Monarch is now under the control of the US Army. Back in 2015, after Hiroshi is spotted by his children, he warns them about something they should run from. It turns out to be Godzilla. Hiroshi has that same equipment capable of calling the Titans, so Godzilla appears. I was puzzled by what Godzilla was doing with its mouth in the ground. Godzilla, an animal supposed to be in the water, lying down, sleeping, lounging in the earth, the sand, in the middle of the desert. It's baffling, but the scene was awesome. Godzilla rises and starts walking. Once again, the group splits up. Duval and Shaw go after Godzilla to help because they understand that Godzilla is necessary to protect the planet, while Kentaro, Cate, and May go after Hiroshi. Meanwhile, May reveals her past to them and that she betrayed them. Cate does her usual tantrum and rushes ahead. If I had to pick, episode 6 would be my top choice among 4, 5, and 6. There's so much promising content ahead. I'll definitely cover it all here on the channel. Don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell to catch every detailed analysis of each Monarch Legacy of Monsters episode. Take care, and until next time.